Hey guys, Sodax here, and today I'm bringing you another deck profile. So I have the old Cycle Pass mat out because I'm too lazy to get out my ReZero one. It's in my bag. I've been out for like most of the day, so I'm just recording this now. So yeah. So another deck profile. This deck profile is going to be on Nightrose. After the support from Lummy Labyrinth and the new Fires collection. So let's just get right into it. So starting Vanguard, people might have different opinions on this. This is my personal preference of starting Vanguard. I run Peter the Ghosty as my starting Vanguard. I just like him because he goes into Soul, so it helps you feel for Gauche when you stride. Early mill to get stuff going in your drop zone, and you get a draw, so it's fine. I still run Grenache. Grenache is just in the deck, so I can try to mill him out. Though it's a lot harder now since I don't run Obadiah. But if I manage to draw him into hand, I can just use him to guard. So yeah. Personally, like, I don't really use him to start because at my locals there's one Narukami player, so I just don't like it when that happens. He just retire bind it, so I lose him. But again, it's up to your personal preference on which starter you want. Gauche is not Gauche. Grenache is honestly a fine choice to be starting Vanguard. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will actually run Gauche as their starting Vanguard. But personal preference, I prefer Peter the Ghosty over Gauche as Grenache as starting Vanguard. Though I still run Grenache in the deck. So for grade 3s, you run, well, I run 4 of the old Nightrose. Honestly, I would say that your preferred grade 3 ride would be the old Nightrose because of like 2 things. First is her GB2 skill that works off of Cannoneer and Negro Lily to do like a pseudo Denial Griffin to get rid of like pesky units. Even though you're milling 3 cards for GB2, it's still, you're doing like that pseudo Denial Griffin idea thing, or even like you can even combo off with a Negro Lazy. But yeah, so yeah, you have the GB2 to do the pseudo Denial Griffin, and then you have her on stride skill that basically you can call any unit from your drop zone and give it 2k. The other Nightrose is a little bit more restrictive when it comes to giving power to units you call from your drop zone, but we'll get to that later. But honestly, prefer grade 3 ride would be the old Nightrose. So yeah. So speaking of the new Nightrose, we run only 2 of her. I personally, I feel like she's better on the rearguard circle because her first skill is that she has hollow. So there you can target, so anything that targets hollow, you can target the old Nightrose. But her GB2 skill can work on the Vanguard or rearguard circle. So it's once per turn, Soul Blast 1. When one of your unit is placed from rearguard from drop zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 1 card from your drop zone and call it to the same column as the unit you called. So essentially, it just helps you fill out your columns. So you're just calling things from your drop zone and saving your hand for guarding and whatever. So yeah, and then and then her on stride skill is when your G unit strides, you can counterblast 1. You can choose up to 3 cards from the top of your deck and put them to your drop zone. Then you choose a card from your drop zone and call it to rearguard. Then if that unit has the hollow ability, it gets 3k until end of turn. So yeah, again, so her on-strike skill is similar to the old Nightrose. The old Nightrose doesn't have the mill, but the new Nightrose does, and it's optional. It says you choose up to, so you don't actually have to choose up to 3. You can choose 1 card, you can choose 2, you can choose none. So yeah, that's pretty good. But then her calling rearguard, it's calling rearguard is the same thing as Nightrose, but the only thing is that if your units is hollow, they only get the power. So if you call like your Sea Serpent, Bale the Ghosty, basically any card that doesn't have a hollow, which you do run in this deck, they won't be getting that 3k boost. So yeah, Again, I feel like she's more useful in the rear guard instead of the Vanguard circle. Finally, the tech of 1 Nightstorm. He's just there to help add more attacks in. Counterblast 1 after he attacks. He can choose a card from your drop zone and call to a unit that he's not on. So yeah, more attacks in basically. So yeah. Grade 2s. 4 skeleton cannoneer. Like I said, again, you have him to do the Negro Lily pseudo Denial Griffin, because he's a hollow on. He's on place Counterblast 1 GB1. When placed from drop zone, if you choose one of your opponent's rear guard, retire it, and if he's hollow, you draw a card. So yeah, again, you have that pseudo Denial Griffin play with him. So yeah, and 4. Next 3 Negro Lazy. You really don't care about the soul blasting, because if he's retired from hollow, he countercharge soul charge, so you're basically just getting your soul back from him. But yeah, he's honestly he's still pretty stable in the deck. At 3 mostly. I think 3 is good. 4 might be too much, but So yeah. But yeah, if you for some reason if you want to do like a tedious way of Denial Griffining, you can, if you have Negro Lazy out, you can do Negro Lily to kill Negro Lazy, and then use Nightrose GB2 to bring back Negro Lazy, and then use Negro Lazy skill to bring the skeleton cannoneer, and then the cannoneer can kill something. So you can use, if you don't have the skeleton cannoneer out already, and if you have Negro Lazy, you can kind of do that, though it's going to be a bit more costly. But yeah. Next, 2 Sea Serpent. Again, also pretty stable, because you do kind of go through counter blast a lot. So yeah, honestly, skill is on place from drop zone, counter charge, soul charge. That's about it. And then we have the 2 arts, because he got reprinted, which is a pretty good reprint. See, Bushroad can do smart reprints. Next, not like a card you see too often, but I like her. 2 Maltreat Shade. She is basically your she's basically a Bale the Ghosty clone, kinda. So the skill that is similar to Bale the Ghosty is her second one. So when she's retired due to an effect of a hollow ability, if you have a Vanguard with Nightrose, you put her to the bottom of the deck, and then you countercharge 1. So she's a good countercharger. Though she does go back to the deck, it's just kind of meh. But still, again, you're going through a lot of counterblast in this deck, so countercharging really helps. And then her other skill, which is really helpful, when she attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Nightrose, she gains 2k for each of your hollowed units until end of battle. So, most cards in your deck should have the hollow ability, and when you do like your final big turn, all your cards should be hollowed. So she's essentially going to get, if all your units are hollowed, she's essentially going to be getting plus 10k until end of battle, because it also includes herself. It doesn't say other units, it says for every hollowed unit. So yeah. So 19k attacker if you manage to have 5 hollowed units, and then plus whatever boost. So yeah, that's why I like running her. And then 1 Never Rook, because you love that hollow 16k attacker. For grade 1s, just breeze this through quickly. 4 Strife Otters. You're a stride based deck, you need to stride. So yeah, especially you're also only running 7 grade 3s. 3 Negrobone, because I only have space for 3. And honestly, again, I think it's like another staple card for Nightrose. After a battle, when boosted, counterblast 1, choose a unit with a hollow, right? Yeah, with a hollow ability, and the call on top of it, so you get another attack in. 2 Build the Ghosty. Again, just there because he's ghosty. When he's placed from drop zone, he becomes the 9k booster. And then skill bottom of the deck if he's put into drop zone from a skill at the end of each battle phase. Counter charge 1. So yeah. And if you have a Nightrose Vanguard. And then then 4 PGs because PGs are PGs, you kind of need it. And the unflipping one because again, like I said, you kind of go through Count Blast a lot in this deck. And then trigger lineup, 4 Nightrose crit because go into the soul, draw a card, soul for Gauche. 4 Rough Sleep Banshee because again, soul, Gauche, and you want to crit to win. 4 stands because we're not Japan and this didn't get restricted yet. So we're probably going to see the day that this card is going to get restricted. But until that day, 4 stands. Yeah. And then 4 of the new heal that came out in Fire's collection. So skill is you choose a grade 1 or less card from your hand, discard it. If you use it to pay the cost for the Ggrading Negro Nora, then you draw a card. Basically really good because you're milling a card. So you could mill like an essential card you need, like you can mill like Bail the Ghosty, any of your triggers that you can call back. So yeah. Okay. Now on to the G Zone. First thing first, let's go on to this dude. 4 Negro Songer, yeah. So the new triple rare stride that came out in Rummy Labyrinth, and it's a pretty decent card. Skill is Counterblast 1, Persona Flip, and choose a card from your hand, discard it. At the end of battle that this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, check the top 4 cards of your deck, put one of them into your drop zone, then shuffle your deck. Then choose 1 card from your drop zone, call it, and it gets 5k for each face-up card in your G zone. Now, I would say this could be your first stride. It is. You can use this as your first stride. I've been using it as my first stride a lot. But I have one friend who played the deck, and he said he preferred to go into Gauche first stride. So you can flip something. So you have like more G units in your G zone when you Negro Songer for your first time, which is I see the point there. But yeah, it's up to you. I guess it's situational on which stride you want to go into first. If you want to try to go full force and try to get multiple attacks in, or like get like a whole lot of rear guards out from your drop zone, then probably Gauche will be your best bet. Then Negro Songer later. If you think there's nothing good in your drop zone, then you can Negro Songer first to get a card you want from either from your hand or from your deck or top part of your deck to put into your drop zone so you can call it. Yeah, again, it's like it's up to you which stride you want to go into first. I've been doing Negro Songer, but my friend Rummy Kane's been doing Gauche first stride. I don't know if you guys have an idea what you think should be the first stride to be, then go ahead, speak it out. Anyways, continuing on, next one, Dragot, the GR from Rummy Labyrinth. So skill is Counterblast 2, choose a card from your hand, discard it, and then choose up to the same number of cards in your drop zone and the same number of unit rear guards you have, and call them to a separate rear guard circle. And for each unit with the hull ability that was called, choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire it. And then if your opponent has no more rear guards, you draw a card. So very costly because it's Counterblast 2 and you're pitching a card from your hand. But hey, you're going to call depending on how many units you call. And at least it's an axe skill, so you can call down all your people first and then use them and just enjoy. So yeah. I was originally running this at 2, but since the new Fire Stretching card came out, I just dropped them to 1. And Counterblast 2 is again kind of cost heavy, because you'll see that I don't run the grade 4 Nightrose anymore, because again, it's getting pretty cost heavy. So yeah, 1 Dragut, and then 1 pirate ship Yar, ship away to GB8 and win. This card actually won me games. So Unfading Ship Immortal Galleon. So skill is Generation Break 8, so he's the GB8 from the Fires collection. When it's placed on the Vanguard circle, choose up to 5 cards from your drop zone, call them separate rearguards, and they get 10k until end of turn, and then at the end of turn, retire all the units that are called from this effect. So, push to win with this card. I did it with calling a whole bunch of hollow units. I had like at least 2 of the stand trigger hollowed, and then like a malt treat for like +8. I think I only had like 4 hollow units that time, but I had like +8, and then something else, and they got 10k from the ship, and then malt treat got 10k from the stand trigger, and my other front row got another 10k from the stand trigger. It was pretty disgusting. So yeah, one of the pirate ship, because you can get into GB at some point. And then 1 Sea Breeze. I'm still on the fence about Sea Breeze, but because most of your cards are live at GB1, you kind of need to have Sea Breeze here. So yeah. Just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 16. Alright, for G Guardians, 1 Deep Corpse Dragon, the generic +5k if you mill 2 from the Fires collection. So yeah, let's see what else just to say. 2 Negro Lilies. I find myself flipping 1 for Negro Nora. We'll get to her later. But yeah, 2, 1 as a flip target, and then 1 just to do the Denial Griffin shenanigans. So yeah, because I believe the GP2 skill for Nightrose is once per turn, so actually I can just check. Yes, once per turn, so can't really do it multiple times. So yeah, so 2 Negro Lilies. 1 Negro Mode. She's actually pretty good. I like her. She's a rare Ggrading from Rummy Labyrinth. Skill is Soul Blast 1. When she's placed on Guardian Circle, if the number of cards in your drop zone is 5 or more, she gets +5k shield. If it's 10 or more, she gains another 5k. And if it's 15 or more, she gains another 5k. Late game, she is perfect to use. So yeah, just 1 of her. And then finally, 1 Negro Nora. She's the G Guardian from Fires Collection, the newest one. Skill is Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1, and flip a G Guardian face up. When she's placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 2 cards with different grades from your drop zone and then call them to Guardian Circle, which is pretty good. You're not wasting cards from your hand. You got cards, you're choosing cards from your drop zone, which are going back into the drop zone at the end of battle, so it's pretty dope. I like her a lot. So yeah, and that is essentially it for this deck profile. So yeah, overall the deck is pretty fun, though you do really need to think on how you play and plan out what you're going to call and what you're going to do. So yeah, but again, if you know how to play, not like me, because I'm pretty sure I fucked up a lot when I played this deck. It's a fun deck to play. So yeah, but yeah, if you like what you see, you can check out more deck profiles on my channel with my friends. They're starting to invade. I need to find a way to stop the invasion from happening. But yeah, you can check out deck profiles. The latest one was Dane doing his Alfred Exceed. You can, if you like what you see, you can subscribe to me, and then you can also check out more videos I've uploaded and done. I've been doing, yeah, so I do a lot of box openings, packs openings, deck profiles, and match videos. So yeah, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.